I am Jadon Se, Golden Dragon of the Third Arc of Consciousness, and this is a message from the dragon. Today's message: Aging Hippies. Dear ones, aging hippies, yes, we are going to go there. There are many of you who are working with the dragon energies, who, let us say, cut their teeth in the 1960s and early 70s. This time on your Gaia has such a beautiful story. This was the first influx of a vast amount of star seeds who'd suddenly swooped in to change the energetics. Your patriarchals, top down military authority figure types were grandstanding and creating wars and changing politics to make it so they could draft soldiers for any pet project war that they wanted and invade small countries. And they were using all these different excuses about communism and this and that and why we have to be afraid and go to war. And the generation that came through and then has spent their teenage and early 20s years in the 1960s, all the way up until their 30s, of course, in the 60s. You came to this, your Gaia, as a sudden influx of help. Help was so needed at this time. Love, free sex, all these things that came with the hippies. It was very shocking to the square, jar-headed people that did not like such things and were frowning upon them. But it did not seem so threatening to have these strangely dressed people smoking marijuana and just tuning in and cutting school and dropping out and doing all these things that, of course, hippies were good at. And this time was so beautiful for Gaia, for it was so needed. There were so many dark things happening. All the bodies that were piling up from the war, the draft, the terrible crimes that were being committed on innocent people far away and even innocent people here at home. We are saying here at home because this channel is an American man, so we are not trying to be nationalistic here. If you're a hippie in Europe, you're involved in this. If you're a hippie in South Africa, wherever you are a hippie, you are involved in this. So many were dying at this time, and it was needed for beautiful starseed beings to come in droves, so to speak, system busters. And in the beginning, when a system is so rigid, you need a mob of system busters, so to speak. And this, your music scene that was bursting onto the scene at this time, enabled this. The beautiful vibrations of bands like the Grateful Dead and all the other beautiful musicians who started to wake people up with the vibrations of their music, with their love of psychedelic drugs. Your Beatles, making people aware that there are gurus in India who can help, and your Jerry Garcia types, and all these people, so beautiful, just traveling around, living in their little hippie buses and camping out. And such beautiful energy flooded into your world in this generation. This is a little bit of a celebration of the hippies, this message. The channel is a little too young to consider himself to be a hippie, and he was into heavy metal anyway, but that's a different story. This is a nod, a beautiful ode to the hippies of this world. Those of you who are now in your 60s, 70s, 80s, who made such a big difference on this, your Gaia. Gaia loves you so much more than you know for what you brought from the stars to bring peace and love and harmony to this world. Of course, peace, love, and harmony was here already, but it really needed a shot in the arm, so to speak. And your hippies were here for just that, not the shot in the arm, the drugs. We will leave that aside. We want to talk about the energies that hippies brought that were so needed. And even with your psychedelic drugs, the plant medicines and all this, it was a reset of consciousness, so to speak. So many of you beautiful beings who came at this time, you re-encoded energetics of freedom, of love, of system busting, unplugging from the mechanistic wheels of society, and becoming once again natural and beautiful beings of the sun, beautiful beings of nature, beautiful beings with music and freedom and love, the way that love was meant to be, without deep entanglements and dramas. Love that was light-hearted, beautiful peace love. These times, we are in love with these times because they set the stage for what is coming now. You are the aging hippies, the ones we are talking to right now. The others, you can listen, you can just smile and laugh at all these seemingly old codgers who were once very interesting young ruffians and Rastafarians and wanderers and gypsies, and these people are so fascinating and interesting to the story of Gaia. They added so many colors, not only literally but figuratively, to the palette of creativity here. Beautiful stories. And, dear ones, the most important thing was a deep and abiding questioning of authority. The man, so to speak. Yes, indeed. This beautiful system-busting era was all about questioning the man. And the man was not a very pleasant man to deal with at that time. He was very forceful and very... Your Uncle Sam, you might say, was very, let us say, insistent that people should pick up guns and go shoot other human beings and pay these terrible taxes in order to do that more and more, and buy these weapons and bombs, and, well, you get the picture. Hippies were needed, and they came, they responded. It has been quite the journey. Not all of your lifetimes have been, shall we say, easy or pleasant. Many of you struggled with lack and financial issues. Many of you struggled with drug addictions. Many of you struggled with parenting under these sort of circumstances, which was difficult. Many of you struggled with children who resent the freedoms that you represented. Many of you have children who think that you are the ones who are immature and they are the adults in the room, so to speak. It all came as baggage with this great swell of the peace, love, harmony movement. Tune in and drop out. Was that the slogan? Beautiful. And we are in gratitude for the aging hippies. We love you. There are so many echoes from that time that happen right now. We still see many influences from that time in full swing, so to speak. We see beautiful artistic creativity. We see beautiful colors. People still experiment with psychedelics and plant medicines. People have a beautiful and genuine relationship with sacred sites in your world. Your Gaia. The tree huggers, yes, dear ones. The environmentalists who decided that they would take up the battle instead of against the Viet Cong. They took up the battle against those who were killing whales and chopping down trees indiscriminately. So many beautiful hippie energies. And to this day, you see these hippie buses, especially in places like your Mount Shasta, where there is a more modern version of the hippie. Around here they are called the Shastafarians, and they are lovingly admired by many of the locals here. Some of the other locals wish they would leave, but that's another story. It is a beautiful thing to see these energies carried forward. And yes, dear ones, many of you right now, ones that are younger from the aging hippies, younger than those aging hippies, yet still tuning into these kind of energies, you can give your thanks to the energetic shift that was brought about in the 1960s and early 70s, and then came about again during your harmonic convergence in the 1980s, and yes, carried through all the way to the 2012, all the Mayan calendar information. Most of this would not have come to light without your hippies. Most of what you consider to be people who understand ETs and UFOs and tune into the elementals of nature, the dragon energies, the fae. Most of these people, you might say, would be looked down upon, frowned upon more than they are now. Hippies came and somewhat normalized this, made it so that it wasn't so dangerous to be different. And you can thank them for that. We are in gratitude to these aging hippies, and we are taking our first steps into this golden age in no small part thanks to them. So this message from the dragon is a shout out to all of you aging hippies. We love you very much, and the dragons will always be with you. The fairies too, we cannot leave them out, and the unicorns, the butterflies, and well, all of those hippie beings. And we also love the way that the indigenous Native American legends and lores and myths were so embraced by the hippies. Your spirit and totem animals. There is a deep affinity between true, authentic hippies and true, authentic indigenous peoples. You might even say that they're the only closest things to white indigenous people in North America are the hippies. Anyway, we go down a rabbit hole. There are beautiful indigenous white people in Europe and some of the northern areas, but we will leave that for a while. Thank you to the aging hippies. We love you, we honor you, and we will be carrying your energies into this golden age with a twinkle in our eye. I am Jadon Se, in love with what the hippies stood for and still stand for to this day, and in love with Gaia's love for you.